In the golden glow, Arizona's sun, flying high above where the cactus run. A drone's sweet serenade, sky so blue over Sonora desert. Just me and you. Mountains in the distance, saguaro tall. Beauty of the wild captivates us all. Winding trails below, shadows play. Desert adventures calling, let's drift away. Under desert skies, hearts are free. Whispering winds, you and me. Sunsets glow, turns day to night. In our desert flight, it feels so right. A heartbeat, moments like these, endless road. Nature's rhythm, life's sweet code. Silent echoes in the air, desert whispers everywhere. Colors change with every breath we take. Amber beams and twilight sing. Lost together, we'll be found in this magic desert ground. A heartbeat under desert skies, hearts are free. Whispering winds, you and me. Sunsets glow, turns day to night. In our desert flight, it feels so right.
Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Desert Adventures in Arizona. Try number 2. Kicked off my live stream at 9 a.m. and I don't know what happened, but it wouldn't run. So here we are again for the second try. Hope everybody's Monday is going better than mine so far. But we're okay. We got it going here. Got my CR View cup here. My morning coffee. Boy, that's weird. I never had that happen in all the years I've been doing live streams. That's the first time that has happened to me. All right, let's see. Ringo and Czars here. Good morning. Good morning. There's a first channel member, Traveling Merton and Sue. That was a good live stream yesterday. It worked really well, and I didn't see any glitches or any disconnects at all. Merton and Sue worked well. All right. So I'm a little discombobulated trying to figure out what was going on with the first attempt, but we'll press on and have a good Monday. So I think Ava, okay, driving and listening. I think Ava's napping this morning. She was up all night, she mentioned on her live stream this morning. So hopefully she gets some good rest. One of those things, sometimes you guys can probably remember different life events that occur that get you thinking at night and it's hard to go to sleep. So that's one of the nights that she had. Good morning, Tim. Tim, Gracie, and Crystal. Welcome, welcome. All right, I'll probably lose some folks that won't come back from the first attempt, so we'll just press on. Good to see you. Thanks. All right, let's check on the weather today. It's going to be a hot one. Hey, Siri, what's the weather here today?
Expect some clear skies today. Daytime temperatures will hover around 104 degrees, with overnight lows around 71.
So it's going to be a little warm today, and that's 104 is a little bit light for us. It'll be 105 or 106 probably. So typically what we do in the mornings on the hot days, and there's going to be a bunch of them, is we'll go out early. Oki and I get up with the sun now, which comes up here about 5:20 in the morning right now. Ragged Top is showing sunlight, and so we'll get up early morning. We'll walk around the property with Lucas and watch him as he sniffs around, make sure there aren't any rattlesnakes around. And then we play fetch with him for probably an hour in the morning. And one thing we really enjoy doing is walking around and watering our plants. So we have quite a large area, lots of cactus and mesquite trees and such as that. And we enjoy walking around and seeing what new growth there is out there, and watering and watching all of that. So Ray's here. Good morning, Ray. Good to have you. Hope you're doing well. App says 110. I believe it. I believe it. So welcome to summer, huh? And it's not even summer till the 21st or something like that. Yeah, it's a little warm, kind of hot for the day. It is, but that's the way it is. The nice thing is, if you can call it nice, is the humidity is pretty low right now. Yesterday, I think it was 10%. So you can actually stand outside or work outside, and so long as you have shade, you can be almost comfortable. You know, it's still hot, still like having a blow dryer in your face, but you can, if you have shade with low humidity, you can survive pretty well. And I've been working on a project. I think I mentioned to you guys that I bought a new vehicle kind of unexpectedly, but I couldn't pass the deal up. And so I'm building shade for it. And this is what it looks like here. You see the wood panel there behind the tree. So I put some square pipe together, welded it together, and I'm making shade. There's the square pipe, 1.25 inches, 3/16 thick, and then I just weld it together with a wire feed welder, and then I screw the cedar slats to it, and that makes a really good, sturdy structure that lasts through the monsoons and gives me shade for vehicles. So I have a couple of these that I put together over the years. The last two I built were out of recycled materials. And this one, since it's in the front of the house, I'm making it look nice so it blends in. It blends in with the fence line that's already there. So that's the project I'm working on. And typically, I will go out, as soon as the sun is up, I'm out prepping and getting everything ready to go to work. Ray says, kind of cool in Ohio, huh? Rained a lot last night. So this photo here was right after we had about a half inch of rain, a week or so ago out here in the desert. And I stepped out the back, saw the clouds, low hanging clouds on Ragged Top, put the drone up and did a video and snapped some pictures. Yeah, it works really well, Ray. It works really well. And I use lath screws, self-tapping lath screws with a nice cap on them. And I've got fencing around the property that is 20 years old, and it's still standing. It's made it through a lot of rainstorms. Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Tim. Yeah, hope that solar rack is working well. It looked like it would be fine. JC Jones is here. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. Happy Monday. Was out feeding the fish this morning. That's the fish pond there. I'm doing a short with this little video. So there's a koi in there and a bunch of goldfish. Koi is about, I don't know, 12 inches long. Pretty good size female. And she's been with us 25 years maybe, as well as some of the other fish are pretty old too. So nice to have a little pond. It is there is some maintenance to it, but I enjoy it. It's a nice relaxing spot to sit in the morning when you need to think or just watch the fish swim around. So we're getting lots of solar with the sun coming up early. Right now, I've got 300 and almost 400 watts coming in. My batteries are 13.7 volts, shows 100%. They'll get up to 14.4 and it'll stop charging. And I run, typically, I'll run the cooler. So if you guys know what a swamp cooler is, that's what I have in the garage. I've got one of these roll around master cools. It's basically water going, running over the pads and then sucking in air, puts out cool air, and it drops the temperature about 20, 25 degrees. And I run that off of the solar. There's my solar panels. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 panels sitting on the ground, and I can move them around to face the sun, and they work pretty well. When it gets over 104, 105, the cooler doesn't work real well. So, like today, we're running on the house air conditioning. That's okay, Lonnie. Welcome, welcome. My first attempt did not go well. I had it scheduled. I had my live scheduled this morning. I kicked it off like I normally do, but it wasn't showing up on YouTube. I still don't know why. So I stopped the live and then just created a new one and scheduled it for 9:30 and then started it early. So I still don't know what happened, but StreamYard is running okay right now, and we'll just go with that. I have to get in there and actually trim them, Ray. In the wintertime, the cattails will freeze back, but they'll spread in the pond, and I planted them years and years ago for shade because shade is important. Plus, they they pick up the nitrogen and give off oxygen into the water, so that helps the fish. But I actually physically get my water shoes on and I go into the pond with a saw and cut the roots and keep it cleared out so they don't take over. She Devil Adventures is here. Hello, hello. Late to the party. It's okay. It's okay. Good to have you, Tommy. I was saying that I had trouble running the first one this morning. I was on time, but StreamYard was not cooperating. Yeah, they do. They do just fine. I think the some of the goldfish will pester the koi, but she's got her spot in the pond where she just lays on the bottom when she's tired of it. One thing I added, which really helped the pond, I think, and helped the fish, is I put in bubblers. You guys um, know, the bubblers that you can put into an aquarium. Well, they have those now for koi ponds, and I put a couple of bubblers in, and the fish are a lot more active. Now I'll show you this again. They like that extra oxygen in there, I guess. I do have a little waterfall there, and it works okay for oxygenating the water that flows into the pond. It's just a recycle pump goes through a filter. But since I put those bubblers in, the fish are a lot more active and they're eating better too. So that's a good thing. Good thing. And I've had that pond, I built it 25 years ago whenever we moved in here, 2004, 20 years ago. And it still works really well. But yeah, I built it specifically to have some place to sit when I got off work and needed to decompress, and it worked well for me. All right, keychains are ready. Cool. You have a 30-second blank live in your channel. Okay, yeah, I'll delete that. You have swamp cooling too, Lonnie. Okay. Get up to 83 degrees, and that's still okay with a swamp cooler. And it works good here. What I do with the swamp cooler is it's sitting in the garage. I open up the walk-through door into the garage, close everything up inside the garage so we don't get flies in the house, and then start the swamp cooler. I also run it on soft water. The water is so hard here that it calcifies everything. And so I had a new soft water system put in for the house, and she put a hose bib on it so that I can run the water to the cooler, which works really well. Not many people have the swamp coolers anymore. Yeah, those are cool. I got some too that they made for us. All is well. That's good. That's good. So Snickers is Crafty Traveler's little dog, and it's good to hear that. Good to hear the Snickers is doing well. Mine's 10 feet, not even 10 feet. Tenth of an acre, that's a pretty big pond. So mine is all hand built. Oki and I went to a material place down the road. They used to let you go in there and pick your own rocks out of there. And we picked some good size, rocks that we could still hand carry. And what I did to build mine was I put concrete on the bottom, kind of sloped it, and then some rocks kind of in the middle, and then I stacked rocks up around the outside, built a waterfall feature all out of rocks and mortar. And first time I'd ever done that. And it's just not even 10 feet. It's probably 6 or 7 feet in diameter. So it's just a small, tiny pond. There you go. Stella's back. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome, Stella. Yep, that's what I did too. Misha's here. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, it's working now. That's good. I still don't know what happened, but I'll go in and delete that 30-second live here. Let me see here. Content. So I'm in studio here. Okay, that's 30-second live. Yeah, it only ran for 31 seconds, but I'm not sure what happened. I got 31 views though. Yeah, it shows black screen, huh? That's what everybody was saying in the chat. 35 minutes ago, it only shows black screen. And I kicked it off as normal, started stream, but I have no idea. I'll have to go in and delete that. Yeah, Fort Huachuca, that's right. Lots of water bugs. Yeah, that's for sure. And I grew up with a swamp cooler, in the house that I grew up in. That's all we had. And even the house that we bought when we came back to Tucson back in end of 95, that's what we had, a swamp cooler. They work really well until it gets humid. Once it gets humid, then they don't work so well. Oh, you had both. Exactly. That's what I use. I use the swamp cooler, and I actually run it off of the solar and batteries. So in the morning, I'll turn the swamp cooler on. We'll open up and vent the house, and it stays pretty cool. Yeah, Snickers is a cutie. Oh yeah. And they will on my pond too, Ray. They'll take over. I physically have to get in there and cut them out because they're growing in the middle, and they send out runners, and so I have to climb in there. Those are cattails. I have to climb in there and cut them out and yank them out by hand so that the fish have enough room. But I think they're beneficial. The only way I would get rid of them completely is to remove the fish and then, empty the water and try to pull it all out by hand. But it's beneficial for picking up nitrogen and giving off oxygen. And I like the feature of having cattails. I think just ran black. Yeah. Okay. Today is June 9th. Wow, June's already flying by, huh? And notice my CR View cup. Isn't that nice? I know where you can get one, and it's probably right on their channel. And every week, Tim drops a video on life up there in Quartzsite. So if you haven't watched, be sure to check it out. Not many people up there camping right now, but Tim and a few others are up there as well. Let's see, June 9th. Did you know that today is National Strawberry and Rhubarb Pie Day? See, I got fun facts for June 9th. National Strawberry Rhubarb Pie Day. I don't think I've ever eaten a strawberry rhubarb pie. Made from strawberries and rhubarb, which are both in season during June. Also on June 9th in 1934, Disney introduced the popular character Donald Duck. making his debut on the cartoon The Wise Little Hen. So on this day in history, Donald Duck came out. And Traveling on Adventures is live this afternoon at 2 p.m. That's Earl and Terry. So you guys got to watch them because today is also National Earl Day. So we're celebrating National Earl Day. And since Earl and Terry are having a live stream at 2, we got to get over there and check them out. The first air-conditioned train was introduced by the Northern Pacific Railway in the United States on June 9th, 1939. It was a major milestone in train travel history. Can you imagine having to travel on a train in the desert Southwest in the summertime? That would not have been fun, although it would have been worse, I think, in a stagecoach. I don't know how they did it. Let's see, June 9th, 1959, the first ballistic missile carrying submarine was launched. What else we got? Richard Pryor, you guys remember Richard Pryor? On June 9th, 1980, set himself on fire accidentally while freebasing cocaine. As a result of that, he became increased activism in addressing drug addiction. So, June 9th, 1973, the horse race secretariat won the Belmont Stakes by an astonishing 31 lengths. What else we got? The rest of it is all gobbledygook. I guess if you like gin, it's World Gin Day also. Gin's a popular alcoholic beverage enjoyed worldwide in varied cocktails. Michael J. Fox, the guy with Parkinson's disease, was born today in 1961. It's Flag Day in Sweden. And that's enough. That's enough. All right, what else we got going on? Well, people, thanks everybody for coming back to part 2. I appreciate your support. My middle name is Earl. All right. Dad's name is Earl. Very cool. Very cool. Wow. Yeah, that is a nice cup, huh? My dad will be 87 in a couple of days, Tommy says. That's awesome. Let's celebrate Dad's birthday, Tommy's dad's birthday, and everyone else in June as well. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah. Okay, Lucas, come here. Want to say hi? Lucas popped in to say hello. There he is. Come here. Come up here so they can see your handsome face. Come here. There we go. There we go. There's handsome Lucas. He's been napping out there. Mom worked him pretty hard this morning. Yeah. Playing fetch. He's such a good boy. Yeah. Such a good boy. Okay. So it's a little more difficult to exercise him when it's hot. It's not difficult in the morning when we get out early, but he likes to go out at about 5 o'clock in the afternoon to play fetch too. after he's napped the afternoon away, he's full of energy and wants to play. Well, we don't get as much playtime in the afternoon when it's hot. Yeah, I do too. I do too. Talca detectors here. Hello from Chile. Welcome, welcome. Jill's here. Welcome, welcome. Hello, Jill. Good to see you. Yeah, happy Earl Day. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Pretty well quit drinking any alcohol. It just doesn't do anything for me in my advanced age. And I just don't feel good. I do have a beer once in a while. If I go out, down to the saloon and have a meal, I'll have, a beer, maybe two with friends, but that's about it. And that's probably, I'll bet it's been multiple months since I've had anything. Oh, yeah. Happy birthday to Tommy's dad and me. My birthday is on 6/18. There you go. That's the 39th year. Is that right? 39th birthday? No, don't give him a hard time. He lived to be 87. You got some cred, you got some cred. My grandmother lived to be 85, and my mother lived to be almost 85. So hopefully I make it. And I'm pretty sure Oki's got some influence in that too, because she makes me eat all these vegetables and all this good food. And she's planning on me living to be 100. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a good point. Never got to celebrate your birthday in school. Yep. Thanks all dad's not doing well at 87. You're sounds like he had a good life. And there you go. Party. It's a birthday party time. Happy birthday to your wife in heaven, Ray. That's right. Good point, Tim. At 87, he has a license to flirt with the pretty girls, especially if they're nurses, right? You live to be 87, that's saying something for sure. All right, what else is going on here at the Buyer Ranch? Monsoon season is coming. Monsoon season, they're telling us that it's gonna start here in a couple weeks. One thing that, I was checking my radar this morning, and there are 2 storms down in Mexico. I don't know if they'll show up, but Barbara and Cosme. Here's 2 storms. You can see the words there. They're forming down on the southwest coast of Mexico, and that's what brings us our moisture. So as that moisture flows up, and then we're up here, Arizona's up here. There you can see Phoenix. When that moisture starts to flow up into Arizona, when we have the hot afternoons and the humidity is in the air, it'll actually form storms sometimes right over your head. One minute you see this cloud building up and it gets darker and darker and darker and then starts dumping rain and we end up with monsoon storms. So all the TV stations start running monsoon awareness uh, clips because what happens every year, people drive through washes that are normally dry 300 days a year, and then they're going to work, and you know how you kind of veg out when you're going to work, um, and you drive through a low area that you drive through every day going to work, and then all of a sudden there's raging water, and they drive right through it, not even realizing or paying attention, that you shouldn't be in there. So they do swift water rescues all the time during monsoon. They put up barricades in front of some of the low-lying roads. In fact, this is our road crossing right here. That's a dip in the road. It's normally a dry wash. Now that wash runs through our property, kind of pretty well splits it in half. And when it rains up there in the mountains, Silver Bell Mountains are over here and Ragged Top's over here. When it rains up in the Silver Bell Mountains, that water flows down those dry washes and eventually will reach our place if there's enough rain. And here's one more video. Let me find it. There's one more video of the water flow. Here we go. So yeah, that's the wash that goes right through our property. I can walk out there right now. It's dry as a bone. But when we get a good rainstorm up in those mountains, and it takes about an inch of rain before we get that type of water flow. We haven't had much rain at all this winter, and a lot of the trees down in our wash area are dying off because they haven't had enough rain. So, but we celebrate the rain here, and we're hoping for more. Oh, Papa Merton is 87. Awesome. Wow. Yeah, he's still feisty too, isn't he? Yeah, we saw 40% a couple of days and then it dried out. We're down around 10% right now. And that's the tough thing about monsoon, it can be over 100 degrees and 40, 50% humidity. And then you get the rainstorms that come over and it cools it from over 100 down to like in the 70s in a matter of minutes. Thunderstorms at night too, yeah. Typically, the storms will crank up late afternoon, early evening. Sometimes we'll get them when we have these storms, influencing us down in Mexico. We'll have overnight storms. So I'm kind of hoping that we see some of that. As I mentioned, Barbara and I don't know how you pronounce that, Cosme. Those two storms are down in off the coast of Mexico. I haven't heard which direction they're going, but hopefully they're going north. because we could use the rain. James is here. Welcome, James. My daughter had a tornado in Texas last night. Wow. Hopefully they made it through okay, no damage. Yeah. And 'tis the season, huh? Spring, early summer. That's when the storms get cranked up. Geez, we lived in Nebraska for 3 years in Omaha, and I remember the tornado warnings. You get the big sirens going and just scares the crap out of you. Smoky Mountain Blessed is here. Welcome, welcome, Joy. Good to have you. Another channel member in the house. And Joy and Donnie do drive streams up there in Gatlinburg area. Saying hello to everyone. I know it's amazing, huh? It's amazing. A couple of times, once, I think twice, we have caught, when it starts raining up there, woo-hoo, look at that. When it starts raining up there in the mountains, we'll watch our wash. We listen because you can hear the rain, flowing through the water flowing through the wash from the back of the house. But we try to catch it just as it flows down, and that makes for a really cool video, seeing that water pass through. Wow, a trip to New Hampshire. We lived in New Hampshire for 9 months back in the military days. Beautiful state, beautiful state. I was stationed at Pease Air Force Base, New Hampshire, there in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. And the job that I had there was to work on closing the bomb dump. So we had to ship out all the munitions, all the special weapons and everything in the bomb dump. And I spent about 6 months out of 9 working on that project. Roy and Becky's Travels are here. Howdy, howdy. Welcome, welcome. Ambuline Adventures, Stan. Welcome, Stan. Welcome, welcome. Hope your Monday's going well. I know. And the cactus really have been blooming. If you guys follow my channel, I've been sharing some of the cactus blooms. Let me see if I've got. Here's a little video of blooms on saguaro cactus out by the water hole out back. And they put on these beautiful white flowers, which turn into the red fruit. And the Native Americans used to harvest this fruit and make, jams and jellies and things. And the seeds inside are in the fruit are picked out by the birds. And then down on the bottom there is a baby saguaro. That one's probably 10 years old. But that's how it works out here in southern Arizona. B-47 pilot. Very cool. My dad worked on B-47s. He was a avionics guy, technician, and I remember him talking about working on those too. No red fruit there, huh? I guess maybe they didn't get pollinated. I think they have to be pollinated to produce the fruit. Patty's here. Good morning. Good morning. Well, I had a hiccup first thing this morning, Patty. I kicked off my normal 9 a.m. live stream and it didn't work. I don't know why. I still don't know why. I got a black screen. Everybody in the chat let me know what was going on. So I closed that out and restarted. So hope you're doing well, Patty. All right, what else we got? Talked about projects. Oh, don't forget Traveling on Adventures is live at 2 p.m. this afternoon. They just dropped a video of a visit they made to the Petrified Forest up here in northern Arizona. Really cool video. So I watched that last night. Let's see what CR View has going on. Let me look. I think I saw a video from them one day ago. Let's see. Let's check out CR View. Share screen. Welding, so he's working on figuring that out. He did take some classes in high school, welding classes, and he did pretty well. Built a couple of things and learned a lot, but he hasn't decided yet how he's going to get where he wants to get. You know what I mean? So if you guys could give yourself, your 18-year-old self, any advice, what would that be? If you could give yourself at 18 any advice, what would that be? Now, Dylan's graduated from high school. He got decent grades and graduated. His mom made sure of that. But he's not sure what direction he's going to go yet. Happy birthday to Dylan. Yep. I would, one thing that he's been really smart with, my grandson Dylan, is he had a girlfriend for a short time. And then one time, grandma asked him, "So, how's your girlfriend doing?" He said, "I broke up with her. She's too much for me." She was one of those high maintenance gals. And he said, "I can't handle that. I can't afford her. She wants to do this, do that. You know, I need to buy her this and that." And he didn't have a job and he didn't have any income. And so he said, "You know what? This is not going to work for me." And he's basically stayed away from having a girlfriend except the one time. And I think that was about a year ago. So he's done smart that way. He realizes that that's not for him. And so he has friends. He has lady friends, young lady friends that he hangs out with. And he stayed out of trouble, hadn't done, anything to get into trouble. So we'll just see how he develops. But I think I would tell him, looking back at my teen years and early 20s, don't marry that girl. That's what I would tell myself at 18. My daughter's still home in her 20s, right? To be fair, our landlord did sell her house. Who can afford, who can afford to buy a house now? The prices are just crazy expensive. So the kids can't afford a house now. And rent in Tucson, we have a friend that we've known from Okinawa. I think when she moved into her apartment, it was like $500 a month for a one bedroom, and it's around 1,000 or a little over 1,000 now. And that's what, 10 years? A lot of people are being priced out, especially low income folks. And that's, forces people out when they can't pay the rent and the electricity and all that comes with it. Sometimes you don't have a choice. So Misha would say, "Don't be in such a hurry," to my young self. It doesn't seem to be a problem nowadays, right? Right. Yeah. And we're rushing around when we're young and especially working. Yeah, good point. And don't sweat the little things, right? My granddaughter lives with us, got her job, her own place, and working. We raised her. That's good on you, James. Very cool. Patty says, I tried a few things, didn't figure out what I really wanted to do until I was in my early 30s. Went back to school. You don't need to know right now, she says. I hear you. I hear you. And that quite often, that's what it takes. You know, my father realized that I was not college material, you know, when I was in high school, and so he pointed me to the military. Best decision he made and best decision that I made because, the military gave me, 3 square meals a day, a roof over my head, training, sent me to school, and, uh, and I stayed 21 years, 4 months, and 7 days and got a check for the rest of my life, and I retired back in 1996, and I still get that check. I know, rent is crazy, huh? And is it that way everywhere? The real estate prices is why I decided not to sell mine, right? And if you sell yours, you've got to buy somewhere else. So you might make, you might double your money on the sale of the place you're in now, but how do you find another one? That's just crazy. $2,300 for a two-bedroom in San Diego. Good idea, Tim. So Tim says, I would caution to find out what's in the Kool-Aid before drinking it. Yeah, that's crazy, huh? Step Van Dan is here. Big hugs from Minnesota. And he's winning big in Las Vegas, I think. He's up there in Vegas. It's going to be 110 degrees, he said. And hopefully you're winning big in Vegas, Dan. Had my place 11 years. Tired of paying a house payment. Oh my gosh. Our daughter, Sheena, her house payment is about $560 a month, I think. And she's got over 2,000 square feet. 388 a month. You can't beat that. You can't beat that. I agree with you. You can't even do a car payment for 388 a month. I mean, if you went and you bought a van or an RV, your payments would be $800 a month. Hopefully, you're able to talk some sense into them. I know, right, Misha? Yep, 110 where Dan is. Now that's hot. There's Copper State. Welcome, welcome. I pop in on their live streams on, I think it's Sunday once in a while. Not a gambler, he says. Okay, that's good because you're going to leave with the money you arrived with, right, Dan? I'm not a big gambler either. When Oki and I go up there or go into any place down here, they have casinos too on the Indian Nation. We'll throw $20 in a slot machine or something, but we're not big gamblers either. Oh, okay. So Dan's there with his sister Debbie. So we're here to see her. Well, prayers for Debbie, Dan, and the family. It's good you're able to make it there. That's right. You don't have to gamble to win. Right, right. Who in the world would give up a $388 house payment, right? Sometimes, Tommy, you got to point out the obvious to your kids, right? Oh, my coffee cup is empty. We've hit the hour. Let me catch up here. Ray says, yes, it's crazy. $900 a month in a mobile home RV park. And I think Quartzsite is what, 400 something in the summer? Patty's kids are in Georgia. 5-bedroom house for $2,700. Wow. All right, it's 103 up there in the queue. Yeah, sorry to hear. Misha's last of the 70s this week. Oh, that's right. Yeah. So Roy and Becky owned the house, paid on it for 10 years. They turned it over to their kids when they went nomad full time. And the kids are taking the payments over. $388 is pretty good. Heading to the Strip. Okay. Always fun to people watch out there. Dan, thanks for popping in, and give your sister a hug for us. Tell her we're all praying for her. We still have 20 years on our VA loan. You'll get there, Misha. We paid this house off a couple years ago, and we put extra on the mortgage payment every month. Paid it off in about 15 years. So now we got to pay the county for the right to live in this house that we worked so hard to pay for. And we got to pay the county a couple $1,000s a year just to stay here. Believe that? I figure every night I go to sleep, I'm gambling. I wake up every morning. Good point, Dan. That's right. One never knows, right, Misha? Our new house is $1,400 a month. And that's what I remember. 10, 15 years ago. That's pretty good, Dan. Pretty good. Oh, mobile home park, not an RV. Okay. Is that owning the mobile home, or is that renting it? Yeah, because they have lot rent too, right? Property taxes really rent. You're right. You're right. And that's something the politicians are talking about here in Arizona, is whether they want to do away with property tax. I mean, we pay over $2,000 a year in property tax, and it goes up every year because they say your house is increasing in value. We're not going to sell this place. This is our last place. But we got to pay for the privilege of staying here. All right, Dan. Okay, folks, we're an hour and 5 minutes. I'm going to run a couple of videos. Thanks for coming back and hanging out with me on part 2. I'm going to run a couple of outros here, and we'll see you next time. Thanks very much. And like Van Girl Cheryl says, if you see someone that doesn't have a smile, give them one of yours.
Do you want a new version of me just because? When you're deep in daydreams, where nothing's forbidden, yeah.